Hey friends, I am so glad you chose to do this project today. This is a really relaxing, no pressure kind of project. It's actually an exercise that artists use to help themselves become better observers, because by observing your subject carefully, you will better be able to draw it. Today we're going to do something called blind contour drawing. And it is just as its name suggests. You can't look at your paper while you're drawing, so that's the blind part. You're drawing, but you're not looking, and you're drawing the contour of a subject. So, for example, I used this little bird when I was doing my blind contour drawings of the bird, and I just drew the outline of the bird. Okay, contour means the outside lines. So this is an exercise. Like I said, most artists will do blind contour draws to warm up, and they'll do them in their sketchbooks, and it's just actually a fun way to get your hands ready to draw and to get warmed up. And usually the results are pretty hilarious. They don't actually look like what you drew because obviously you can't look at your paper. So let's talk about the elements of art that we'll use to finish our art piece. So this is just an exercise, but I thought it would be fun to turn this exercise into a piece of art. So we will be using the element of line. Remember, the elements are the ingredients that artists use to put their artwork, to build their artwork. So we're going to be using the element of line when we draw our contour lines, or our lines that show the outside shape of the body. We're going to be using the element of shape because our lines will cross over and make enclosed places. Most of your shapes are going to be organic. As you can see, the shapes that I made are organic, or shapes that you usually find in nature that don't have rules, versus geometric shapes like squares and triangles that you learn about in math. And finally, you'll use the element of color when you decide how to color your project. And we'll talk about your choices for coloring the project when we're all finished doing our contour line drawings. So like I said before, blind contour drawing is an exercise that artists do to improve their observation skills. So when you are doing a blind contour drawing, you are looking at your subject and drawing it but not looking at your paper. So I would be looking at this I'm going to draw this little duck. So I would be looking at the contour shape, the outside shape of this duck with my eye, and then drawing it with this hand without looking at my paper. So you will need a piece of paper and a marker. Okay, so before you start drawing, it's a good idea to just run your fingers around the outside of your subject just to kind of get a feel for it and really notice. Like, you might not even see these little bumps for the tail. You could see them there. But if you didn't run your hand over that, you might not notice that. When I turn this over, there's like a little concave spot right there that it goes in. So I might not notice that depending on how I hold it, but I might. Okay, so just run your fingers over it and get a good feel for the different bumps and wrinkles and things that are on whatever it is you're choosing to draw. So if you do this correctly, chances are that your drawing is not going to look at all like your subject, which is just fine. This is just an exercise in seeing, and I want you to just be drawing things as you see them, not as you think you see them. Okay? All right, so let's get started. I am going to prop this guy up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing, but I can't see, okay? So I'm going to be drawing on my paper, but I'm not going to be looking. So I'm turning my head to the side so that I can see the duck, but I can't see the paper, okay? All right, so I'm going to start right here where the duck's little beak is, and I'll just sort of talk you through this. So I'm going to go across the beak, and I'm up curving around the head, but I'm going to stop right here because I want to go in and do that eye. Remember, you can't lift your pencil up, So you have to kind of draw a line to get to where you want to go if you need to go to the inside and make something like an eye, or I'll probably have to do that when I do the feathers too. So I'm going to go around to the top of the head, and the head curves around like this and down to the neck, and it curves in like that. Now I'm going over the back. You can see that it kind of goes up a little bit, goes back down, and then I'm going up to the tail. I'm actually going to draw that little triangular shadow I see in there, then around to the back of the duck, and now I can see the bottom of the duck. So I'm going to do a curved line that goes around that's showing the bottom, and then I'm going to go back in because that's sort of an oval in there and close that up, but then I'm going to need to trace back a little because I want to go in and do a little bit with these wings that are on the side. So that's going to go up, and I'm making the little feathers now, making the little feathers, and going over to make those other little feathers. Those ones are sort of a different shape. Okay, and then I'm going to go forward and make that row of feathers. Okay, and my eye is only looking at that duck. Okay, and there's this row of feathers, and I can't lift up my pencil or my marker, so that's why I keep retracing. All right, now I'm at the front of the wing, so I'll do that front part, and now I'm going to go to the front of the duck, over to his neck, and up to the beak, where I'm going to do the bottom of, oh, I lifted my pencil, bad Mrs. Barker. And I'm going to do the bottom of the beak. Okay, oh my goodness, look at that. Okay, so if you do this right, and you don't look, your results will look pretty hilarious like mine did, okay? So that's what you do. Then what you'll do is you'll turn your paper, and you'll do the same thing, only on a different part of your paper, and you might want to turn your duck so it's going a different way. Maybe you draw the bottom view this time, or maybe you draw it from the top. So that would be an interesting way to draw it. So I was going to draw from the top. Could start with that front beak, okay, and go around to the side. Okay, so that's what you would do. Now, once you get finished, and you've done quite a few different views of your subject, and you've sort of filled your paper, then it's time to do your coloring. You can decide what color scheme you would like to do. I chose primary colors, and where they overlapped, I colored the secondary color. If you would like to do, remember how we made the color wheel just by taking the rainbow, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Obviously I did this with another lesson, it's just sitting here. And I put that in a circle. That helps you know you could choose all warm colors or cool colors or analogous colors. Remember, analogous colors are beside each other on the color wheel. Okay, so friends, I hope you had fun with this lesson. Blind contour drawing is an exercise that many artists do to warm themselves up and to help themselves be really good at observing all of the details of the subject that they're drawing. It helps you draw what you see and not what you think you see. And I hope you enjoyed turning your blind contour drawings into a piece of art. So friends, I miss you, and I can't wait to see you, and have fun with this project. Send a picture when you're finished, and miss you.